The early church suffered immense persecution since her birth, especially in Rome and Alexandria. The persecution differed with different emperors and rulers, but there was almost always persecution. If persecution was not imperial throughout the empire, there was certainly local waves of persecution. When an imperial persecution took place, it often came with the goal of exterminating Christianity. The persecution and bloodshed compelled an early Christian thinker named Tertullian to say, "The more you mow us down, the more we grow. The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church." Examples of waves of persecution were experienced under Maximinus Thrax around 235 AD, Decius around 250 AD, Valerian around 257 AD, and the Great Persecution under Diocletian around 302 AD. Cyprian of Carthage and Sixtus II of Rome were among the bishops who fell victims of the persecution of Valerian. Diocletian's persecution was too vicious that it marked the beginning of an ecclesial calendar, adopted in Alexandria, known as the Calendar of the Martyrs. Although such waves of persecution would end with many devout Christians who shed their blood for Christ as martyrs or confessors, some felt weak under the yoke of persecution and apostatized. This compelled the Church to answer questions such as, should one run toward martyrdom? Should one avoid martyrdom? What do we do with apostates who desire to return to the Church? Theologians such as Origen of Alexandria encouraged pursuing martyrdom. As a teenager, he himself tried to be martyred, but because his mother hid his clothes, he was embarrassed to leave the house. However, he died because of his wounds at an old age. Cyprian of Carthage preferred that people avoid persecution, lest they fall weak and apostatize. If one is caught and tortured, Cyprian would say they should not deny Christ, whether in reality or in appearance, as some would pretend to deny Christ so they could escape persecution while still believing in their hearts. Cyprian considered those who denied Christ, whether in reality or in appearance, as apostates. When an apostate desired to return to the Church, there was a controversy as to how they ought to be received. Some insisted that they would not be accepted into the Church after having apostatized. Cyprian had a more moderate position, which required them to live in repentance and not approach the chalice or partake of the Holy Communion until they are on their deathbed. This controversy caused minor schisms in Carthage and its surrounding regions in Africa.